Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thank you for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. You spend a significant portion of your life at work, so my goal is to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am thrilled to welcome my very special guest to the show today, Melissa Nixon. Melissa, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've got your gorgeous book in my hand. I'm going to tell our audience all about you. Then we're going to dive into a juicy conversation about the book. Melissa J. Nixon's motto is, I'm not afraid of failure, I'm afraid of regret. After many years climbing the corporate ladder, Melissa took her own courageous leap. Now she's a captivating keynote speaker, executive leadership coach, and trainer for organizations such as Wells Fargo, Northwestern Mutual, and American Water. She's also contributing to the Huffington Post, Lifehack, and to the Network for Executive Women. Melissa is known for teaching others to learn before they leap and how to make their next courageous move. And her incredible new book is The Courageous Life, Learn Before You Leap. So Melissa, let's get right to it, my dear. What inspired you to write the book?
Wow, so many things, because it's the question that I get asked the most when out and about speaking and training, Caroline. People want to know, Melissa, how did you get started? What was the very first thing that you did? Because there are so many people that have climbed and reached the tops of corporate ladders, or maybe they're in the middle of their career, and there's something pulling at their heart that says, this is good, life is great, but I wish I could do the thing that I really wanted to do and the thing that I'm most passionate about. And I'm doing that in my own personal life, and people really want to know, okay, tell me how. Teach me.
That's awesome. So help us understand the audience, because we've got millions of listeners around the globe. And I've always been very clear, many of my listeners are women. And I know that you speak to large corporate audiences, but who is the best target audience for the book?
The target audience is for women leaders and entrepreneurs, even men that are middle career primarily, and at the top of their career. They have climbed the ladder, Caroline, and they're making great money. They're doing what they love. They're doing what they went to school for, but they haven't necessarily tapped into the thing that's in their heart the most. They have a desire. Most of us, what we do is we plan, oh, I'll do that when the kids graduate from college, or I'll do that when I retire. And there's so many people that desire to say, you know what, how can I either do both right now, or how can I make that transition to really do what I love? I'm a firm believer that if I have to spend 60 hours a week doing something, I want to do something that I love. You may not love every minute of it, but it doesn't have to be miserable. I want people to show up and love the work that they do. Whether that's in their corporate career, maybe it's a different field, or maybe it's starting a business. For everyone, it's different, Caroline. But I want people to know that they don't necessarily have to go to a job that they hate. When they're going to bed on Sunday nights, I want them to feel excited about what they get up to do on Monday mornings.
I always say, bad bosses happen, bad jobs happen, but suffering is optional. And we always have choice.
Suffering is optional, Caroline. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Your tagline, I'm not afraid of failure, I'm afraid of regret, really resonates with me. And I, like you, am in the trenches with individuals who are paralyzed by fear. And you have this unique ability to help people power through what they're afraid of and act on it. So tell us a little bit about that process and how the book can help people overcome that fear.
Yes. So the book is filled. One of the things that I love is to be able to see other people and wonder, how did they do it? Yeah. They're living their most life. They're out traveling the world speaking, not stuck at a position that they don't love. They're out, doing just amazing things in the world. And I'm always curious as to what exactly did they do? So in this book, Caroline, not only wanted to tell my story, but I wanted to tell stories of other leaders and entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things, that are unique and different, and they're successful at it, wildly successful. Not just trying to get started, but making a great living their lives and enjoying what they love. So that's one aspect. Is there are tons of stories in the book filled with women that are astrophysicists, world-renowned classical pianists, keynote speakers, pilots. I mean, they're just doing everything. And they truly, at some point in time in their life and in their career, made a decision that says, not only, yes, I can do this, I will do it, and they're living it out. So that's one of the things that was important to me. I also wanted people to just be able to be inspired. Sometimes you really need to hear and see someone living it out, so that inspiration and that motivation. We recently had a book launch party here in Charlotte, North Carolina on the East Coast, and the testimonials that people shared with me from just reading the book have been, oh, I could not attend because I could not attend without finishing my book before I came today. Or I've left from my career to my calling, and here's what I'm doing. I mean, I was floored by people literally taking action from reading the words on these few pages. It was amazing.
Oh, that's great. Those are goosebump moments. And I love that phrase, going from your career to your calling. I think that's fantastic. Melissa, what I also appreciate about the book is how you really coach people through the process. So it's like having you as their own personal and private career coach. So of course we want people to buy and read the book, but give us some insight about these 4 key things that everybody must do when leaping from their career to their calling.
Yes, there are 4 key things, and the point that you just mentioned in reference to it's almost like having your own personal coach in the book is because I really wanted it to be practical.
Yeah.
So at the end of every chapter, just about every other chapter, at the end of every section, I should say, there are actually amazing coaching questions that allow the reader to stop and to think and to reflect and to say, how would I answer this question and what am I actually going to do about it? It's a great quick read, but it's one of those reads that will be able to allow you to say, what do I do next? Not just, okay, that was cute, it was great, but what am I actually going to do next? And so throughout the book, I help people. One of the things that I get asked, I would say the second top question outside of how did I do it is, how did I know what my purpose was?
Yeah.
How in the world did I know? I mean, even when you're dealing with people that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, we go through these careers, our careers, thinking that it's one thing, or maybe not even knowing it's going through the motions. But how did you know, Melissa, this is the thing you wanted to do? And there are amazing questions that I ask everyone in that section that says, what is the thing that you do naturally? Sometimes we're so gifted in an area, we don't even realize that that's part of our purpose. It's the thing that you do better than anyone else that just comes naturally to you. It's intuitive. You don't even know that you're so good at it because it's what you do, you know? Both you and I are speakers, Caroline, we can get on stage and rock the mic at any point in time. For somebody else, it's their biggest fear.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you do that? Well, it comes naturally. It's intuitive for many of us. While we've honed our craft, it's natural. I also tell people and ask people about, when will you declare a decision?
Yeah.
That's key. There are so many people. They thought about the thing that you have. They thought about the book, the business, the next career move, the move from one city to the next, probably for 5, 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. But when will you make a decision in reference to making that next courageous move? The third thing is, what's the how? Once you make a decision, okay, it's great. You know, I'm thinking about relocating in a few months or maybe the next 12 months, but I have to also put a game plan together. I can say, yeah, I'm going, but what are those key steps? And a lot of times what we'll do, Caroline, is we will get so bogged down in the vision that's in our heart that we see that we don't even do the basics.
Yeah, we get paralyzed. Yeah.
Exactly. I started and stopped in reference to my own journey, of being a coach, a speaker, a trainer, so many times because of fear and nervousness. But at some point in time, I had to make a decision, and then I had to actually write out a plan and start walking in it every single day. And then the last thing, which is huge, because with anything becomes obstacles. They say all the time it takes 10 years to make an overnight success. You have to determine your staying power. Mm-hmm. Are you committed? At what point will your decision be non-negotiable? That even on your hardest day, when things don't seem to be working out, How committed are you to the process, to seeing it come to fruition? That's the point of other people's stories that I love, because every person of success and significance that you see has a backstory. It wasn't just handed to them on a silver platter. But so many times we are not willing to be uncomfortable and walk in discomfort in order to reach our destiny.
Well, I just love how you have literally broken it down into manageable action steps. And again, that's your coach shining through, helping people create their roadmap and giving them very specific tools. But one of my favorite things, Melissa, is your phrase, courage is a repetitive action. And
Yes.
boy, is that true. So tell me more and perhaps give an example in your life.
Oh my gosh. I probably learned this in month one, year one of my business.
Yeah.
Month one, year one of my business, when I finally started my business, because I had thought about it for so long, while I had a career that I loved, I thought about doing what I'm doing today for years.
Yeah.
And when was I going to make the leap? When was I going to take that step? Well, you know what? I finally said, yes, yes, now is the time. This is the year. Let's go.
And you did. You
And
did
I
that very
did.
thing.
And then everything didn't happen overnight.
Right.
The contracts didn't come in overnight. The speaking engagements didn't come in overnight. And I realized that every day I had to wake up and do the same thing over and over. It wasn't a one-time leap of courage. It was a daily leap of courage. And that's when I started saying courage is a repetitive action. You have to be willing to do it over and over again. I wrote this book. Now I have to find the courage to write the next one and share that message, you know?
Well, I'm so grateful that you're giving everyone permission to know that even the most successful people, just like you, have to re-engage with their courage on a regular basis. You don't achieve it and everything is set and life is grand, right? There's a constant process. So it's good for our listeners to hear that.
Exactly. It is a constant process that, you know what, I've seen so many amazing things happen in my business just for the sake of not giving up and being willing to, show up and stay constant. There are people that have reached out to me 3 years later, 4 years later, because they know this is what I do now. In the beginning, people may realize, okay, that's cute, that's something to change and so forth. But once you really commit to the process, Caroline, it becomes who you are. It's not a dream. It's not just a goal. It becomes how you live on a day-to-day basis.
I would agree. It's how you live your life. So, my dear, so many valuable lessons that we can glean from this book, but what are the few, for example, just to entice the millions of people listening, that you want people to gain? What kinds of benefits from reading The Courageous Life?
Yes, definitely. But by the time, I would say before you even get to the end of the book, you will be ready to, if you have not started, you'll be ready to start whatever that goal or dream is that is in your heart. If you stopped along the way and said, and maybe you've taken a little pause because life happens as it does to all of us, you'll be ready to get restarted. You're more than likely, I know for a fact that the excuses that have gotten in our way, whether it's time, whether it's, our schedules are too busy with work and the kids and things like that, you will be ready to make a move and continue. A lot of times I also say that courage is about movement, not magnitude.
Nice.
This is not about you having to make some big decision tomorrow, but it is about doing the very next step that's required today. And I guarantee that readers are doing that. I love the testimonials that come in of people that have either been inspired to write their own book or that have been inspired to do whatever that thing is that's in their heart. I am a firm believer that everyone's not meant to be an entrepreneur, but I do believe that we are supposed to walk in something that is wholeheartedly fulfilling, in our own lives, into the lives of those that we serve.
I'm with you. So let's talk about a few of the obstacles, because I know some of the people listening are saying, okay, I'm ready. I want it. Give me the book. I'm ready to go. However, they've got their own particular roadblocks. So name a few of those just so people can recognize and figure out how to overcome them with the help of your book.
Yeah. Biggest roadblock number one, even though it may mask itself in many different forms, is fear.
Yeah.
So many times I had to change the question from what if it doesn't work to what if it does work?
Right. Right.
We are so quick to go to the negative side of what, we try to have a mitigation plan, a plan a plan B and a plan C, instead of working on the plan A that is right in front of us with the notion of what if it does work. So fear is number one. And the only way to be able to address that, Caroline, which you already know, I'm sure, is to face it head on.
Mm-hmm.
Mindset is everything. When you are doing something that is so outside of your comfort zone, you have to be willing to do the work to keep your mindset in the right place, whatever that looks like for you. For some, it may be daily affirmations. For others, it may be meditation. For others, it may be prayer. For others, it may be reading inspirational books, whatever that looks like. But it has to be daily and consistent, because if not, all these negative thoughts are going to come. I don't know about anybody else, but they come for me.
Absolutely, because you're human, as am I. I get them
Right.
too. I get
To
them too.
say, they say, who do you think you are? This is never going to work. No one's ever going to listen to you. I mean, if I gave in to them, we would not be on this podcast right now.
Right, and that's why courage is a repetitive action, right? Even for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So fear is definitely a huge thing. And then there's life, right?
Yeah.
Life, if until it becomes a priority, whatever it is, until it becomes a priority, there will never be enough time. There's always something for us to do. There's always something in our schedules, whether it's being a parent, being a spouse, being a community leader, or it's just us wanting to we need downtime for ourselves. We will use not having enough time as an excuse until it becomes a part of what we're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis. I remember when I was working my corporate role and I was coaching and partnering with senior leaders and doing large-scale change and traveling around the country, and I would get back to my hotel room, Caroline, and once I got serious, and even though I was tired, my passion fueled me. So I would stay up late at night till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, looking online and researching and working on my business plan, and then show up to work the next day.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of time being a factor. A lot of times we don't do it because our dreams, especially if they're really big, people may think, oh, you must be crazy. You're going to leave your great six-figure job and go and do what? And you don't even know if it's going to bring in revenue? Okay. How about you keep working there a little bit longer, right? So people may not understand the dreams in your heart, and it can be difficult, whether it's a spouse, whether it's friends, whether it's family members. When they don't understand, you have to build that. We talk about this in the book a lot, of who's on your team, and it's not going to be everybody. But as long as you have that core team of supporters and those that believe in you, anything's possible. Anything's possible. So definitely fear, looking at time, having the right people on your team, truly that support and believe in you. And then I would say the very last thing is belief in yourself, or just plain old belief. Do you believe that whatever that thing is can happen? Or is it just a pipe dream? There are so many people that I see. This is one of the things that motivated me, Caroline. There are so many things that I see that people are living their dreams. And I got tired of walking around and saying, why can't that be me?
Yeah, watching other people live their dreams.
Right.
Exactly.
Why can't that be me? I got tired of going to trainings and watching consultants in the front of the room making tons of money. And here I was, I made great money in corporate America, but I wanted that to be me in the front of the room. What was different between myself and them? I got tired of going to conferences and seeing people rock the stage and, engage audiences and cause changes in lives, and wondering, why can't that be me?
And it is.
And it is. And it is. It's taken a lot of work, but if that question comes up of why can't that be you, my encouragement is that it can and it will, as long as we're willing to do the work.
Absolutely. Melissa, what a joy to have you on the show. So good to hear your voice, and this book is extraordinary. The Courageous Life, Learn Before You Leap, How to Leap from Your Career to Your Calling. Tell us how we can buy the book and how we can follow you online.
Yes, the book is available on Amazon.com. You can either search The Courageous Life or Melissa Nixon. Either way, it'll come up in your newsfeed. And feel free, read the reviews. Read the reviews of what readers have said about Amazon. It's available on Kindle as well. Some people, I love books. I love hard books. But some people are Kindle readers. You can follow me on social media at Melissa J. Nixon, anywhere, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And then lastly, Caroline, my website is www.courageouslifeacademy.com. And there you'll be able to read amazing blog articles and all kinds of great content and see what upcoming events we have around the Courageous Life message.
Thank you, my dear. I am so honored that you spent time with me on the show and shared your wisdom with millions of listeners around the world. I wish you continued success, and I hope to see you again soon.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to hearing from you as well.
Thanks, Melissa. And thank you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. Career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing so you can do more of it. My show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. Leave a comment because I always appreciate hearing from my listeners. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.